Well, let's talk about it. It's the next day, and it's just offering itself right up to me to change these bellows. This was a racing rack, racing ratio rack on this car, but I don't think those bellows lasted any length of time at all. Boy, I just did what I could. These were on back order for quite a while, as I remember. So let's knock this off, and you got to count the threads, and we'll do all that stuff here in just a minute. Let's get this place where I can move around a little bit. So my tires will be here tomorrow, and I'm just that Seth guy's just a real nice fella. Just so helpful. I thought about it, and I told my friends how good they were. And I don't know if I gave the address. It's been a couple of days now, but we'll talk about it on a different thing. But this is our subplot for today. I didn't get out here till very late, so let me open the back door, and we'll see about knocking those things off. You get your fork. You know, you've seen it a million times, but I'll show it anyway. I like my homemade knockoff tool much better. I just really do. It's a little thicker. It's a little better. So if you want to do this yourself, you'll find judicious use of a hole saw will get you in the ballpark, like here and there, and this one out of the middle. And see, I made my own plywood. So I'm a professional plywood maker now, but I'm liking that tool. It's really far superior, and it's chock full of Gorilla Glue, and it's screwed together, and it's just thicker and nicer. So I like that much better. It probably cost me $30 to make it, but at least I made it, and I like it. And so anyway, I just wanted to mention, I don't remember if I mentioned the hole saw thing. So the procedure here is to get your blow nozzle, get away all the dirt you can, blow it right into your camera, and then you take that off. So you loosen this first, and most people don't know, but you can actually hold it. There's usually a flat right here on the tie rod end itself, and then you loosen this, and this happens to be 3/4. Boy, look at all the dust flying around. So you're gonna have to trust me on this. Let's see if I can get her crack loose. Looks like something I did. There you go. So don't crack it loose too much. Just crack it loose a little bit, because you're going to use that, you know, to. Well, I guess you won't. Depends on which one of these you use. And anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. So then you got to get, when it comes to this bolt, this nut on the tie rod end, it actually is a metric size, 17. That was 3/4, and this was 17. I don't know why, but that's the way it goes. Let me zip that off there, and then you got to get your pickle fork right there, and your maul, and it's easier probably to take this nut off, but you just got to count the threads, and we'll do that. Let me zip this thing off. I want both hands for that. Just taking off the nut ain't a big thing. Okay, it goes without saying that if you don't zip this off at high speed, you can sit there a long time. There's usually not a grabby point there, and you just zip it off. I love this Flexzilla thing. I've had that for, what, 4 or 5 years, and boy, it's compact and just powerful as hell. So now you use your fork. Try not to damage your boot. If you do damage it, I usually just use this silicone tape to fix things up. So that's good. That'll do you. That and a pull tie is just as good as anything else. But I'm going to try not to mess up the boot. And as you can see, these aren't greasable. They have no Zerk fittings. None of this does. But it's okay. I mean, you know, I don't drive it that much. Okay, so pickle fork didn't do much damage there. See, she's loose now. And this is a great time to check everything. And that's real tight. And I didn't do any appreciable damage to the boot, so that was lucky. So now you got to count them on the way off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's just a good solid 8. And then you grab your pen, grab a sharpener and just write 8 somewhere where you'll see it. 8. There you go. And so then you know it's 8 turns. You don't need to grab a piece of paper or nothing. And now, I'm not going to worry about that thing. You know, I'm not going to count those. Whoa, that's kind of not good there. Well, actually, that is good. You don't want to lubricate this stuff too much. Some things you want to kind of be sticky a little bit. That's why you use Loctite and everything. Oops, frame. It's okay. Big news there, huh? And so if you feel like you want to replace these, this is something you can get with the Bellows. So let's. That's just got some kind of. I guess I could have got. I got a new blade on my work knife, but that might be just part of the deal. Okay, so let's just cut this because I am not going to. There you go. I am not going to put pull ties back on this, and you just kind of work that off. See, that knife cut right through that like butter. And you just have to kind of peel it because it's been on there a long time. And just make sure it all comes off. You don't want any little tidbits bothering you. Okay, that's pretty greasy in there, isn't it? Okay. And then there's your inner tie rod in. And you just keep pulling this gentle as you can. And look at that, it actually just fell apart. Oh, there's a. Okay, well, that goes in the bin. And then you cut this one. Wow. God, those things are so sharp. I just love, well, gotta be careful of that. Guess I'm gonna need to get a cloth now. That's okay. And always throw those little pull ties away. You hate stepping on them. Well, let me get a cloth and clean this and cut this off. I actually brought a, let me go get a cloth. So let's peel this thing off now. Okay. Ugh, boy, it's messy. All right. So there's all the junk pile over there. So now we're going to open up this bag. Now, like I say, I don't want to use pull ties. So I got my baling wire here and my little wire cover. I don't have that little twisty, turny tool like you use on Jaguars and airplanes. And my friend Carol had, not only did he have that tool, he had different gauge wires, because on airplanes you run into different sizes. And let's open our package here. You got to be careful, don't use something too wonderful here and cut your bellows. Whoa, cuts through like butter. Okay, so let's see which one's which. Now I got a feeling that since this isn't a rack that is I already looked at the other side. I got a feeling I'm in trouble because I probably need 2 this size, but we'll work it out. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's go look. When you got a Spitfire, you learn not to just jump right up or you whop your head on the bonnet. So let's take a look over here. I won't show this side when I do it, but you can see there's a little bit of a problem there. And I think that's the one. That's the bigger one. Yeah, that's the bigger one there. Now, when I put these on the TR4 a couple of months ago, it was ugly. I had a horrible time getting them on. So if this one don't go on, I'll have to order another kit. But that's okay. I won't mind that too bad. Now, you can check your inner tie rod. Look how tight that is. Whoa. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so like I say, it's a new rack. I was going to rebuild the old rack. You can forget that. I've done it. I've done it on MGAs and stuff. But if you can just get a new rack, it's going to run into something all the time. And I got those blocks down there. Those solid blocks makes it respond a little better instead of the rubber bushings. Well, let's see if I can slip this thing on. So the trick with this rack is, you can see there's a little bit of a bevel right there, and that'll make it easier to get that up onto. And then if you turn the wheel to make this side completely retract, you should be able to just slip onto the rack and tie it off. They're the pull ties. I don't know. I don't think I want to use those, but that's going to be a trick. Let's see if we can slip that on there, and I'll tell you how long it takes me. Hopefully just take a few minutes or less. But that's the trick right there. You got to push it all the way in and just use the outer ball joint circumference or outside diameter to help you guide it onto the land of rhythm and pleasure. Okay, I turned the rack out, and I went ahead and put some fresh grease on there. I had some Mobil 1 grease and kind of pack it on there. And so I got that over it took about 3 or 4 minutes to get that going. So now we're going to turn the wheel in, and I'm gonna just get it as far as it goes. All that grease is probably all squished out everywhere, but at least there's some remnants of it. Okay, so we're locked there. Okay, so yeah, it's squished out, but that's okay. So I'm gonna just probably put you here, as much as I don't want to. All right, let's abandon that idea. Let me just push it on, and I'll show you what it looks like. I would imagine I could just do this with one hand now. Yep, I can. Look at that. See? Well, you didn't see it. I'm going to do it again because I'm not scared. So it's nothing but on the outer ball joint, and then you just kind of, and I'm getting some heavy. See, it just squishes right on there. And then you just determine, you can feel the little thing there, and the little ridge is right there. And so let's get all that off of there. And where's my little piece of cloth? There it is. All right. So don't touch the steering wheel now, whatever you do. And okay, so I'm going to need both hands to do the wrapping. So there's the little groove right there. Okay. All right, so it does matter where you put this in too. So when you get the steering wheel back at straight, you kind of want it halfway up the shaft. And I've seen these actually slide around sometimes. So it does happen. Okay, let me finish out and I'll show you. Okay, so she's wrapped very tightly with wire, and you twist it until it's just tight. You don't want to pinch it real hard, but you don't want it to slip off either. Now turn it all the way in, and that'll give you your place here. So you can go all the way out, which we're about to do. You'll see what's going on, and then I'll do the other side, and let's see if you can actually see that, if you want to see it. All right, and then yeah, I forgot to turn the music off. I'm busy, damn it. Okay, let's see how much it stretches it, and hopefully it won't pull it off the rack body. Makes you a little nervy, but that's okay. So yeah, look at that. That's pretty okay, isn't it? Don't pull on that too hard. So that's the way you measure putting them on. And you know, you're only there for a brief time. You almost never go lock to lock anyway. So let's get, I'll have to look at the other. Let's see, let's see where that is. Is that halfway? Yeah, it is halfway. Okay, and see, now that looks like it's in a very nice relaxed position. And that's just about what you want. Make sure that you don't turn, if you decide to do wire, that you don't turn it so it'll poke a hole in your new boot. And if you're going to feel like you're going to need to use a pick, don't pick your radiator, okay? So that's an important fact there. So you can almost tell by the, oh, that's not the right one. I'm glad to see that's a, oh, there it is. I'm glad to see that's an NIN. It don't have to be. So let's get our 8 turns. Remember 8 right there. And you can tell you're about there because it starts getting chalky. Okay, so let's get her hooked. And so there, she turned around on me a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to guess right about there. So we'll lock that down and put it in. And I'll be honest with you, I generally will use vice grips to hold this because that's pretty strong stuff, obviously, because it's steering. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like done. That's the big part of it, and I'll show you what the other side looks like done, and then we'll be done with this subplot. In the beginning of this, I was thinking this was going to be a part of the new wheels, but it's not. It's too long. So anyway, there's that one on there, nice and measured on there, and that's a nice position there. And here comes this side, and there those are. I got to drive this thing a little bit more, darn. And so that rotor looks nice and straight. So there is that one, and everything's been triple checked. The other, oh, I wanted to mention this too. This was 8 turns out, and the other one was 8 turns out. I've seen cars and I've heard guys say sometimes one side's 12 and then the other side is 2. That ain't good. So if you do nothing else, make sure that they're somewhat equal. I put this rack in, so that's why that is. And then this was such an interesting story. I took this thing to get it. After I took the body off and did everything I did, I took it to get it all aligned, 4-wheel alignment, and it was aligned. It didn't have to do a thing, so I was very proud of that. But that's something else I'll tell you too. When I was about 18, I was trying to get a tie rod end off one late Sunday because it was so rotten on my TR4A I had for a long time, and I didn't understand what a pickle fork was. I didn't know how to do it, and I whacked on it, and I ended up getting a saw and just trying to knock I sawed it off to where there was nothing left but what was in the steering arm right here, and right there, that steering arm. So there was just a chunk of metal in there, and I whacked and whacked. I just didn't know, and there wasn't YouTube then. And finally, like half an hour into dark, it popped out. So all's well. I remember what I did was I heated it. I did have the forethought to do this. I heated it and threw cold water on it and whacked it, and it popped right out. But that was really dumb doing it that way. But I just didn't know. So if you don't know, you don't know. So anyway, that looks great there. And this looks great here. And everything looks very straight. The rotors look straight. I don't know why that pan is, well, it's not hitting. Anyway, that's it for Bellows or Gators or rack boots or whatever you want to call them. So that's going to be it for that. And you got to turn this thing. This is the one you got to turn off before you fold it up. So let's see, where are they? There they are. So there's the old ones all busted up and letting dirt in. So I greased up the other side. Everything's nice and greasy and clean and sealed. So very good. So give me a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. And let's go upstairs or somewhere. Just not here. Bye-bye.